My name is Magalie. I'm a nutritional therapist and I have been practicing nutrition for about 5 years. I work in various organizations. I do work for spas, medical practices, and also provide workshops for companies as well on healthy living and how to eat healthily. My top tips today, one of them really what I try to tell all my clients, especially when they starting to look at their nutrition, is to learn one thing at a time and to introduce one change at a time. Often with nutrition, people try to do a lot of things and it gets very confusing, especially with all the information out there at the moment. So I always try to say to them that you're on a spectrum and you're really going on the right hand side of that spectrum, and it might take you a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years, but it really isn't a problem. So a good example would be for people who are, for example, eating a lot of refined bread to begin with. So what I would say to them is, rather than going extreme, start with maybe wholemeal bread, and then moving on to maybe rye bread, maybe moving on to stone ground bread, which is the fresher bread sold in the supermarket, and then later on experimenting on different types of flour, like spelt flour, sourdough, which is a natural leavening process for bread. And even maybe one day making your own. But it's certainly not taking somebody who's eating a lot of refined food to making or baking your own bread, the following day. So we really sort of try to keep things simple, practical, and something you look forward to as well. This is the other thing about nutrition, is getting interested in it and thinking about your future. The second tip I often try to give to clients as well is to make it a habit. Nutrition is to creating new dietary habits, and a habit is a learned behavior. So it's really repeating the same thing over and over again until it becomes second nature. So I often say to them that it's not just for themselves. If they have a family, if they've got kids, and make it also a sociable affair with your family, involving the kids as well, trying new ingredients together. And if you do that, that becomes part of your social circle, professionally, personally. So that becomes a totally different, you take a totally different perspective on your health. And it's a lot easier to make it last, rather than seeing nutrition as this thing on the side that you have to do from time to time. And I think this is what I try to educate my clients on. I'm very passionate about it because I see it as a long-term, completely different lifestyle, which is for them and for their family. And I have a lot of clients telling me all the time that they want to improve their health because they want to be around in the next 30 years for their kids as well. So this is really what it is, creating new habits for the long term.